25, something that would
can
be
even lift
considered an
tanks?
accomplishment if the Super Stallion did it.
Man, nobody
In
can
September
ever
of
think of defeating
2021,
US.
a US Navy MH-60
Hey guys, it's the Loud Guys. Today we are going to react to why US military's largest helicopter is hard to get out of control. And the thing is that we have seen some very big equipment from the USA and US Army. The thing is we saw recently USS Gerald Ford, and that was one big of an aircraft carrier. Like India and all the other countries have nothing in comparison to that. And the thing is, they are making new and new ones every year. Like we also know that for this year they will also get John F Kennedy one also. So they are like getting their military advance to a very next level. And many people in the comments were like that we are spending about $1 trillion on it per year, so I don't think so we should do that. And some people were like we were proud of it. So in the comments also there were many people and many different opinions about it. Now it's about the US largest helicopter, and I want to watch it because helicopters are always a fascination for me, because the way they move around and the way they give you a cool look when you come out of it. So let's watch what is there in this video.
Same, I'm also so much excited to watch this video. And previously we have seen a lot of videos where basically there were large truck, and I ask you people that is it basically the only one people to drive these truck. And today we're gonna watch the largest helicopter. And as Pardon said that I do think that we Indians are very fascinating about the helicopters, and whatever whenever helicopter pass from our houses, we always look into them. I don't know why, but we always do look them. That's the reason. And yeah, I'm so much excited to watch this video. And I want to see that how big these helicopters are.
Yeah, and also what are their capabilities. So I'm also very excited about it. So let's watch this video.
maneuvering a typical helicopter to do 360-degree turns while continuing to move straight on its track challenges even the most seasoned pilots.
Wow.
A maneuver like this requires the pilot to simultaneously adjust multiple controls with their hands and feet in order to fine-tune the amount and direction of thrust generated by the main and tail rotors. But in this case, the only adjustment the pilot has to do is to step on the yaw control pedal.
Yaw pedal.
That's because the US military's largest and most powerful helicopter, the CH-53K King Stallion, is the first and only heavy-lift helicopter that has fly-by-wire controls. More on that later, but in addition to this capability, the King Stallion can provide significantly more lift capability compared to its predecessor, the CH-53E Super Stallion. And you gotta see this. During its test phase, the King lifted progressively heavier payloads. Here is a 4,000-pound concrete block being hooked up, which the helicopter could easily pick up.
My God.
Wow.
Then an external payload of just under 12,000 pounds was lifted, and after some hovering was jettisoned. But this next test really showcases the power of the King Stallion. In February of 2018, the CH-53K successfully lifted 35,000 pounds.
15,000 kg.
That's 3 times what the Super Stallion could lift. You can tell it's heavy by comparing the angle of the rotor blades with and without the heavy weight. It's really pulling on the chopper. Just like its predecessor, the King has 3 engines, but each engine has a whopping 7,500 shaft horsepower, an increase of over 70% compared to the Super Stallion. This allows the King to easily transport a JLTV or other armored vehicles like the LAV-25, something that would be considered an accomplishment if the Super Stallion did it.
Man, nobody can ever think of defeating US.
A US Navy MH-60 helicopter crashed near Bishop, California.
Okay.
The downed helicopter weighed 12,200 pounds, but having crashed at an altitude of approximately 12,000 feet above sea level made the recovery operation challenging.
And don't tell me this
but
lifted
not
that
challenging
helicopter.
enough for the King Stallion, which was only 2 months into its initial operational testing at VMX-1 and had no issues lifting and delivering the damaged MH-60
looks so tiny in front of
safely.
that.
The King Stallion has the largest and most advanced rotor blades that its manufacturer, Sikorsky, has ever produced. Of course, these next-generation composite main rotor blades can fold and unfold automatically, so that the CH-53K can fit inside the hangar of amphibious assault ships. After all, the King Stallion is here to replace the Super Stallion.
Super Stallion.
But the King Stallion can be transported anywhere in the world, since it's strategic lift certified for the C-17 Globemaster and the C-5 Galaxy. That said, the King Stallion doesn't fit inside the C-17 Globemaster cargo aircraft, at least not in one piece. The helicopter needs to be partially disassembled, where the main rotor components are loaded separately from the rest of the King Stallion.
Oh.
Particular C-17 transported the CH-53K to Berlin Air Show in June of 2022, where the helicopter performed the maneuver that we saw at the beginning, called the pirouette. Pirouette is actually the name of this simple turn in ballet, and also in figure skating.
Okay.
The King Stallion can do the pirouettes with ease, thanks to Fly-by-Wire, the sponsor of... I'm kidding, there is no sponsor, just checking your reflexes, and they look good. Fly-by-wire has been used in fixed-wing aircraft for quite some time, but they are not yet common in helicopters. So what is this fly-by-wire exactly?
Obviously because of their price maybe?
In traditional airplanes, the pilot moves mechanical levers to operate a hydraulic control system, which is made up of many parts located across the aircraft.
Okay.
But a fly-by-wire system gets rid of all those mechanical components.
Oh.
Instead, the pilot's control inputs are interpreted by the flight computer, which calculates the control surface positions required to achieve that outcome.
Wow.
This results in various combinations of rudder, elevator, aileron, and engine controls in different situations using a closed feedback loop.
He's so bulky.
It's a bit like comparing a gramophone, which picks up and amplifies the sound fully mechanically, to a record player, which has replaced most of the in-between mechanics with electronics.
Nice.
Wow.
Fly-by-wire has many advantages.
But what is the point of doing
It
this
benefits
for an
engineers
helicopter?
since they can take over 400 pounds of mechanical systems out of the helicopter.
Wow.
Okay.
Remember, the only thing guaranteed about a mechanical system is that it will wear out. Fly-by-wire results in eliminating approximately 370 mechanical parts that no longer require repair or replacement.
So efficient.
But its biggest advantage is the reduction of workload from the pilots. Maneuvering a helicopter on its own is a challenging task, but when helicopter pilots are coming into a landing zone, they become occupied with numerous tasks during their final descent. Landing can be particularly tricky when there is reduced visibility due to sand or dust blowing.
Okay.
According to the pilots who have flown the King Stallion, doing external cargo lifts is much easier when compared to the Super Stallion. Fly-by-wire controls simplify the process by allowing pilots to easily hover in the same spot while the payload is being hooked in.
Oh, that's so amazing.
This process typically requires a lot of communication with the team on the ground, since the pilot cannot see what's underneath the helicopter and has to stay still.
It could be risky sometimes.
On top of that, fly-by-wire systems can be designed to protect aircraft in the event of incorrect
that
or
system
inadvertent
eliminates the
control
risk.
inputs from the pilot, which could prevent accidents.
Oh, wow.
Long story short, the fly-by-wire system on the King Stallion allows pilots to focus more on their mission by reducing the mental and physical workload that's usually required to maneuver a helicopter, especially when they need to watch out for enemy threats.
Oh, wow.
The King Stallion has a maximum speed of 200 miles per hour and a range of 530 miles. For extended
850
operation,
kilometers.
it can be refueled in flight from a KC-130. You can also refuel from a surface ship while in hover mode, and of course, when on the ground.
Oh.
The CH-53K can also operate at higher altitudes and hotter climates. But for the Marine Corps, transitioning to this $124 million flying machine is not without its challenges. Probably the biggest learning curve will be with maintenance.
Yeah.
The King Stallion is a lot more system intensive compared to its predecessor. Anytime a new technology is introduced, there are always unexpected issues.
Yes.
For example, the King Stallion had gas exhaust reingestion problems, which degraded the helicopter's power significantly. And there have been and there will be more issues that will surface and get resolved.
Yeah.
This is why, even though the King Stallion reached initial operational capabilities in 2019, It would only reach full operational
10
capability in
years?
2029. In the meantime,
Why?
Super Stallion pilots would need to be trained in order to transition to flying the King Stallion, which is going to continue
wow, it
the
looks
legacy
so
of heavy lift
cool.
helicopters that the US Marine Corps has been flying for decades. So next time you hear a US Marine yell, 53 kilo, be aware. They are not walking away from the imperial system and embracing metric. They are just calling their bird.
Wow.
Wow. It was seriously a very nice video, and most importantly, it was a very informative video. We got to know about this helicopter so much. We got to know about advantages as well as disadvantages of it, and the advantages was it reduces the work from the pilot, and basically it carries a lot of weight. And the disadvantages was when the pilot land the helicopter, he is not able to, he can't see the land because of the sand and the basically soil, and it requires a lot of gas and all basically. But I really like this helicopter, and we got to know that it will basically release out, and we got to know that basically US military will use this helicopter from 2029, and it is basically from last 7 to 8 years. They're gonna take 7 to 8 years, and because mostly pilots are not trained to drive this giant, and we got to know it is not very common in the US. And I hope India will also in India, basically Indians will also do some inventions like this, because it's so cool, and literally I like the whole video.
And actually, the fly-by-wire system was the most amazing one for me because it allows the helicopter to just hover around, and that is so big thing for a helicopter. Like it can just stay there, and that too such a big helicopter. Like the amount of weight it can carry and the amount of weight it has in itself. The thing was, it was able to lift another helicopter so easily and take it out from there. So this just shows how efficient and how like working it is. Like it can also help in disaster management systems a lot, because like there are many disasters in the mountain area and where you cannot get like tanks and or cars or buses, so it can just go there and can resolve most of the situations out there and can lift the whole like heavy material out of there. So it is very very efficient to use. And also the thing is, like that fly-by-wire system also gives it a good system to pirouette, and that was very efficient when it could just roam around in the air so easily, because otherwise the whole management has to be done. And the thing is, like I have flown helicopters but only in GTA 5, and in GTA or not only GTA 5, in GTA also, and GTA 1, so GTA Vice City, and even in that it is very hard to fly a helicopter. So I cannot even imagine how hard it would be for the real pilots to do that, and I would salute them for what they are doing. So this video was a very very knowledgeable one. How did you guys find this video? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share and
Subscribe.
bye.
Bye.